Like 6. Gotta get that arm spin on. Right now, I might try other styles eventually, but right now, I've got a game to beat, and this is the one to do it with. Because I've been doing it. I've been getting to the final boss, and I've been getting fairly far in the final boss. I think I got to the, like, final stage of the final boss last time. Still haven't beaten him, but we're getting there. We will get there. With our high gem collector. And our wits. And our jumps. And our boxes full of tiny amounts of gems. And our nappies. And our knives and forks, hopefully, in the first round again. Gem attractor. I like the drone, but it does get a little distracting. It's good for the later levels, and I do hope it shows up again. But I want to be able to buy stuff. And hey, like, this dude, clearly all about the gems. He would... Like, I feel like that's his whole motivation for being down here. So he would definitely be all about... Ow. Definitely be all about those gems. God, I've got so much energy right now, and no health. Oh, boy. Health? Thank you. Oh no. Here, you'll never catch me, bat. And if you do, it'll end poorly for you. Oh, that was very close. Oh boy, hey! Shouldn't have dissed the bats. They're coming after me. Something pretty hardcore. Just gonna go on my actual epitaph. Shouldn't have dissed the bats. I don't like any of these, really. Oh, shouldn't have dissed the bats. Huh. I mean... Most people are more upset about getting stomped on than dissed, but, Ow. Do not step on wild animals in real life. Don't do it. It's unhealthy for you, it's unhealthy for them. It's just a bad time all around. Sushi, please. Curry, 1000, can't afford it. God, my health is really suffering in this round. Knife and fork, knife and fork. Apple's fine too. Already running from ghosts. Not a great start to the level, but they're not super fast going down, so hopefully I can just outrun them. I'm not being very patient at all. Oh. That went better than I could have expected. Whoa. Tried to get back over there and screwed it up. There was another of the elusive wall jumps that I only do when I don't mean to at all. I almost thought about playing this without recording it, but I know as soon as I do that, I'm going to beat the final boss and nobody will believe me, and I won't want to, like, and I'll have to try another million times to record it. I'm sure you guys already don't believe me that I got 100 combo, but I'm gonna maintain that I did, even though there's no evidence for it. Accept my word as an honorable gentleman, which you probably really shouldn't take. Let's be real. Sushi. I've already got plenty of charge. I'm gonna save my stuff for health like I usually do. Save the jetpack. I gotta remember that I have that on because I don't usually get it if I have a choice. This time there wasn't really much of a choice, so I do. Knife and fork! Essential. And just in time for the next level, which is when I really, really benefit from it, because a lot of that stuff leaves bodies behind. If I survive to benefit from it, which is always the question. Boink. Laser. Okay, alright. God, drat. I really do need something that will give me gems. Or, not gems, but, like, ammo upon, like, landing. Or not landing, because that gives me ammo anyway. Upon, like, getting a gem or something. Because I keep running out. I haven't really been paying much attention to if the, like, modifiers give me something consistently. Like, if the laser always gives me health. It's given me health the last couple times, but I don't actually know if that's always the case. Let's get a candle. Which works, surprisingly works still in this level. With video game items. I keep it safe and lit in my pocket. Free from the dampness that is surrounding me. I said damp, which I don't think is a word, but I think it ought to be. Nom 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 nom. So triple was charge for that one. I hope you guys are remembering these because my memory is awful. And by you guys, I mean nobody. I hope you guys don't think I'm being, like, self-deprecating when I observe that there's nobody watching the channel, because it is, at the moment, just simply fact. God, he always wants to sell me charge stuff. Need health. That's what I need. That went the opposite way of how I intended it. Okay, there's a nom nom. There's a machine gun. So I don't think they do, because I think previously I got a machine gun one that was the other way around. The charge instead of the life. Oh. Alright. Oh boy. Hey, one more. I live to die another day. Alright, I'll take the single hit point. No use getting prideful and saving up when you stand a pretty good risk of dying right here. Yep, see, there it goes. There goes that hit point that I just spent my money on. Nappe. But, I mean, this run isn't going great, I wouldn't say, but it's an indication of something positive. Like, I'm like, oh man, I'm doing so terrible, it's awful, I'm doing the worst. But I am well into the third area, even on one of my bad runs. So at least when I'm like, oh no, I'm doing the work, I'm being... Like the me of 2 days ago, like a week ago, would have been super impressed with my ability. My now self's ability. I'm gonna go with gem powered. I cannot afford any of this. Nappy always seems to give me a hint, though. I feel like. Because I think again, I think Nappy's a person. Like, I think I saw their name in the credits, so... Perhaps Nappy was, like me, always in dire need of hit points. And what video game character isn't, frankly? What player and or character is not? See, there's another heart Nappy. Oh, I'm going this way. Oh, where am I going? I'm going this way. Where am I going? Where am I going? 34 so far. So 4, so good. And at the very least, if I don't make it, and I land on something... Well, I don't want to land on anything because everything is spikes, but... this could be useful, especially since I've got the drone. I don't know if this increases the drone's range as well, but we'll go ahead and assume that it does. I don't think it actually does. Never mind. Sushi. Okay, I'm back up to my full complement of 4 whole hit points. So, doing all right. Puncher. Whoa, I'm halfway there. Burst. You would show up right about now, wouldn't you? Alright, machine gun, that means I can hold down the button. Do not fall for the control scheme blues. Oh boy. Oh, I'm doing well on my combo, but I'm gonna go with the balloon since that will protect me from... Oh, dang, almost forgot. Almost forgot. Alright. Sushi! I'm left with 2 gems, and that sushi will protect me for about half a second, and then I'm going to be back on my own again. Okay, alright, okay. Only got a few more to go. $92. Wait for that to pass by. That nonsense. Oh, I got burst. Oh! $100 combo! I did it! There. Now I prove to you that I earned that achievement, that trophy, fair and square. It can be done. So I've accomplished one of my goals for today. Final boss, still down there. Still hasn't met his defeat at my hands. Or feet, I suppose would be more accurate, since there are guns strapped to my boots. Rocket jump is probably a good thing to have. That AoE. Alright, I'm too poor to afford any more health, but I'll get some health for that combo. God, these bats. It's so hard to see everything that's going on in this. Oh, thanks, Knife and Fork. I pretty much had forgotten I had you completely. Hadn't been doing me much good over the past. Well, it can't do me any good in that last level, really, because there's nothing to eat. But, I still feel like it is not doing me as much good as it ought. Oh, Lord. It's coming for me. And we're down to the second of 4 areas. At least 4 areas. Okay, that means it's going to shoot the 3, and then... Ah, drat frick. Yes, drat frick. Oh, dang. Oh. I'm so sad I missed that. But hey, we got a new, mad. Yeah, I am mad. Mad that I keep losing to this boss. Palette. Mad. Oh. Oh, oh, it's horrible. I mean, look, I like Halloween as much as anybody, but this... Laura'd probably like this. She loves Halloween, but... The Halloween color scheme, not doing it for me. And by it, I mean being allowed to see at all. Viewers, I apologize, but not so much that I'm going to change it. because you and I were gonna stick this out together. This horrible, terrible... I feel like I'm swimming in Tang, the orange drink, if you're not familiar. Hello, frog. Again, not doing super well on health right at the moment, but this is a Devolver game, and with Devolver games, that can change very rapidly. Oh, that guy was dead. Boink. Hup. Phaser. Bow. Boink. 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 So, as far as the power-ups work, in the, you know, in the sense of things, do you suppose... Do you suppose that, those, little, you know, power-up boxes, whatever, do they contain all new shoes? Or are they just stuff that I, you know... Are my shoes sort of swappable equipment that you can latch a whole bunch of things onto them? Or is this, well, I mean, they obviously, whatever it is, they only have the one hard point because I can only fire one thing at a time. But do you suppose, like, somebody else, if somebody else came down here, would they just find a bunch of pairs of discarded shoes? What do you think? I think maybe they're whole other pairs of shoes, because that means when somebody, like, is like, oh, you know, I'm gonna take these new shoes with their burst capability, I'm gonna leave my old shoes behind for the next adventurer who comes through here. And that's me. That's the next iteration of me. I just leave shoes behind for myself. But that begs the question of where did the shoes come from in the first place? Are there any enemies here that would wear shoes? I suppose that, like, the bone-throwing skeleton dudes are also humanoid. They might wear shoes. Especially with the floors as spiky as they are down there. Shoes would probably be a pretty good investment for them, I would think. I mean, they'll only do probably so much against spikes that are as tall as you are, but, you know, every little bit helps. Okay, so the blue ones, the blue white-ish ones, I can't hardly really tell. Those are the spiky ones. I will have to remember that. Ow. I hit my head. I don't have my om-noms right at the moment, so I'm not gonna... Alright, okay. Heart? Nope. I wonder what it would be like to play, where everything gave you health and nothing gave you energy. Like, the first couple levels would be super easy, and then I assume the third level would be more difficult, and then the fourth one would just be a nightmare. And then, of course, the boss would take a lot more hits as well. So apparently that stuff at the bottom is time warp thing, which explains why I can, like... Well, no, it doesn't explain that, because the walls are moving by. Never mind. I was going to say it explains how I can fall forever while I'm picking, but not really. Popping gems! This dude is popping gems all day. It's pretty much all he does. Oh yeah, there was a laser that didn't have a heart on it. So yeah, these, the things are random, but I'm still wondering about the Nappy one, because I don't know if I've seen a Nappy that wasn't a heart. Why did you even give me a choice? Just give me that one every time. That's all I want. I wonder if the rocket jump destroys those guys or turns them hostile. I think I will probably eventually find out. But I do not want to get close to them while firing anything off if I can really help it. So when I find that out, it's probably going to be inadvertent. Ooh, that... I just barely had enough for that. I feel like... Uh-oh. Ow. Oh no! Alright. Bye everybody. Going down. Leaving. Bye bye. Punch ah! Boom, 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 boom. I mean, I get why it's called the puncher, is because it has a lot of, you know, kicking force to it. I mean, punching force to it. You know, it has a lot of force to it. But, for one thing, it's on my legs, so it should be the kicker. And for another, if it's called the puncher, then the projectile should be shaped like fists. These are my belief systems. Alright, let's see what we have here. Always like that one. One of these games, like, I think I'll do, after I eventually beat the final boss, I think maybe I'll do a game or two where I choose all the power-ups I don't usually choose, and maybe also, do one of the other styles I don't usually use, because variety is the spice of life, but doesn't always get you to the final boss. Put that on a poster. T-shirt. T-poster. It's a poster that you can wear. Hottest new bizarre fashion trend. What do I got? Yes, please. Gotta get those bubbles, get those bubbles, get those bubbles. Hey, hey, hey. Can't be dealing with that nonsense. There's too many of those guys to... Definitely more than I should be letting go. Oh, speaking of which... Speak of the devil that just left, and he is sure to appear again, as they say. Speak of the devil who's just left, and he's bound to turn around and be like, "What you saying about me? I heard what you said." Oh boy. These guys are all coming after me. Yeah, I could use a shop. Hopefully one that has a sushi in it. Oh, we're in limbo. Okay, cool. Hey, 6 hit points. Rad. Your omnoms will not help you here, in this terrible place. Boy, I'm making good time, but I sure am not hitting a lot of combo stuff. Yeah, Navi is a heart again. Ooh! Boy. That's no good. No good, no how. Oh, the shotgun's a real interesting one for this level. Great at getting rid of what's below me, though. And that, in fact, is a lot of the problem. Boy, that's a hard thing. I think I'll save it, actually. Because while 7 hit points would be nice, it might be just more practical to keep this and refill the hit points that I actually have. Boy, those things take a lot of hits, it feels like. Those round dudes. shotgun. That'll help. Boy, and they're kind of hard to see, huh, too. Oh boy, oh boy. Burst! I thought my drone was me. I mean, might as well. The other two may actually not only not do me any good, but might actually screw me up. Oh, hey. I was totally right to save that. I'm glad as I am that that didn't take my combo away. I really should have did a couple jumps to wait for it. Laser. Aha, you're around, jerks. Get lasered. Ooh. Burst. I'll have to look up sometime what you get for each, like, level of combo. Because, I don't think I've ever gotten more than 1 heart for a combo, and if it might be wise to try and optimize by, you know, landing after a certain combo number has passed. It's one of those things that's not maybe immediately obvious, but, sure, I'll take the 1 hit point. Boy. Sure, we'll go with charge because that extra hit point would be great, but especially since I'm at the final boss, I don't know how, Alright, does he, I forget if he shoots out the 3 things. I'm gonna start out. Oh no, he just shoots out a bunch of enemies first, okay. Okay, so stay at the top for the initial one, is the lesson that I have learned. Boy, the laser sight's real good to have in this. Oh, burst! Why do you do this to me? Oh, we're running. We're running, we're running, we're running, we're running, we're running. And by running, I mean mostly falling. Alright, there's that. And I'm sure that someday I will figure out where the slightly safer spots are, but today is not that day, and tomorrow may not be looking good either. Oh no! Are we? Yep, we're just running. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Don't let that catch me, please. Thank you. Okay, and there's a little, before he does the thing, there's also a little, like, burst of energy. God, those guys are so hard to see! It's the worst. I hate how that goes through walls, too. Because otherwise I might be safe somewhere. Ah, drat. Okay. Back into the sea of orange tang. Do they make other flavors of tang? I don't even know. All I know is that one time I was over at a friend's house and I poured myself a bowl of cereal and he didn't have any milk, so I went with orange tang instead. And it's one of the most awful, terrible meals I've ever eaten in my life. Speaking of eating, this dude is not a super picky eater. He will eat anything that leaves a body. Raw, doesn't matter. Unless his bullets, like, somehow cook him. But this dude, or lady, it's not really immediately apparent, whatever, he, she, or it will eat anything that leaves a body. This is only rule. He's on a seafood diet. If he sees food, he eats it off the floor immediately. I suppose that's, even that is a little inaccurate. If he sees food, if he sees anything that could be food, even a turtle shell, which I think would probably be too chewy for my taste, he eats it immediately. Wonder if he'd gain hit points at a more consistent rate if he actually, like, cooked his food before consuming it. Not really a whole lot of time to do that when you're being pursued by hundreds of bats, but, you know, maybe find one of these tiny, quiet time bubble alcoves and cook your dang food. Then again, like, the food that, this arm-spinning person eats is, always like, those shells are bigger than my character. The shells from the snails that he sometimes eats, larger than he is. Keep debating with myself over what to call this, what pronoun to call this character by. And you know, it's not entirely obvious. I mean, this character might not even be human, it might not even apply, but, you know, I like to think I'm reasonably socially conscious and don't always want to go with the male. So how about we just, and like I've said before, they as a gender neutral pronoun is something I support, but it's not something it's something I have trouble with when it's used to refer to a specific entity rather than a non-specific, like, variable person. I think masterful descent. What is that? Oh, that's complete an area without taking damage. I didn't know I didn't have that yet. So that's pretty sweet. Anyway, I think What should I call this character then? I wanna give it a name. I want to give it a name that's kind of inspecific. The problem is, we tend to use certain letters and phonetic constructs to you know, denote kind of the family and like your name says a little bit about what kind of demographic you fall into, and I want something that's just complete nonsense. So what should we go with? That is also true. Let's see. I'm tempted to call this character Gem, because it's outrageous. Truly, truly outrageous. And also likes gems. But that seems a little simple. Plus, with all the gems that are being collected, you know, the commentary might get a tad bit confusing. This character's name is Gemini. Gemini Christmas. That's this character's name, and there's no backing out now. We have to ask ourselves, though, does Gemini Christmas, the arm spin wonder, does Gemini Christmas, the arm spin wonder, is Gemini Christmas just a master of all the styles? Or are those separate people that are coming down here with different hit points and stuff? I think they are. But none of them have gotten as far down the well as Gemini Christmas. Gemini Christmas is just all about those gems, as you might suspect from the name. Gemini Christmas is determined to defeat the final boss and snatch the gem hoard that is no doubt at the bottom of this well. His mother and father were also... It's Gemini Christmas. We always refer to Gemini Christmas in the third person. Gemini Christmas's parents were also gem divers and named their offspring after their profession. And it was a kind of fortunate thing that Gemini Christmas grew up loving gems so much, or maybe maybe Gemini Christmas just wants to get all the way away from people making fun of Gemini Christmas's name. The people who use it as an exclamation are the worst. Gemini Christmas. Gemini does not appreciate them. "10 minutes left." Wow, I never really, I can't believe I never actually did a stage without taking damage before this. Like, I've played, I mean, it's only been a few days, but these games go quick, and I have played a lot of them. Gemini Christmas knows, having been on the receiving end of several horrible, terrifying deaths by turtle bites and jellyfish stings. I mean, I say they're jellyfish, but they don't really have tentacles. Maybe they're sentient jellyfish-flavored jelly beans. And they're mad because their people keep getting eaten by Gemini Christmas and Gemini Christmas's ilk. Maybe that's, even though they don't leave bodies that anybody can eat. Maybe they have evolved specifically out of spite to not leave bodies anybody can eat, because they're like, we will deprive you of our deliciousness so that you will no longer be a predator. So there. And we considered it very rude, but frankly, eating people is worse. Very, very rude. Shouldn't eat people. And of course I know what the obvious rebuttal to that is, you know, but not gonna do it. Not right now. Gemini Christmas foot puncher. That is to say, punches with feet rather than punches feet. I wonder how many people, like, I wonder if anybody's, like, ever actually in like, a fight. Well, I mean, I'm sure it's happened, but, like, I wonder if somebody's gotten punched in the foot, like, by accident, like, they're kicking and somebody else is punching and they got kicked in the foot so hard they got incapacitated. What happened to your foot? Somebody punched it. Which is almost as ridiculous as what happened to you. Oh, I don't know. This dude with guns strapped to his feet. This Gemini Christmas with guns strapped to its feet came down my well and shot me with gun boots. How did you know this person's name was Gemini Christmas? They kept yelling it as they fell. Gemini Christmas! I think he might be distantly related to that Leroy Jenkins fellow. Gemini Christmas. See, that's why you shouldn't pretend like you're related to that Leroy Jenkins fellow. M is for my machine gun. Oh, there I go. You know, I thought I had time for one more game, but maybe I have time for two. Do you suppose it's really dark in this well? I mean, most wells are, I would assume. Never been down a well, believe it or not. Or do you suppose that Gemini Christmas got hands on a like set of orange NVGs and is using them to navigate the dark well? Because if Gemini Christmas is using orange NVGs in order to navigate the dark well, then I would just like to go on record as saying that every experience I've had, like I've only had one or two experiences with NVGs, but they've been terrible, because NVGs don't give you a whole lot of depth perception, and when you're like driving a Humvee with the blackout lights on in the NVGs, it's not, like you can, I'd almost prefer like pitch blackness to wearing NVGs and trying to drive. I never had to do it on an actual like mission or anything. I did go to Iraq, but I wasn't really a driver or anything. So fortunately, I never had to drive with NVGs in any real world scenarios, but I did have to do it, and it sucked. It was just pretty much the worst. But no, in case you didn't, if you're watching, in case you didn't know this about me, I spent 7 years in the military, 4 active, then went to the Guard for a while. One of those I spent going to Iraq, and yeah, NVGs were wearing NVGs and trying to drive was just about the worst thing I had. I feel like. I was fortunate in that was one of the worst experiences I had in the military. Mortar attacks, not super fun, but you know, then if you know, I was lucky enough to not get hit by any of them. Like I was around for mortar attacks, but none of them ever hit me, so I was super lucky. Other things I didn't super like doing in the military, eating MREs is not a fun experience. As you might maybe guess, the worst part about them is they all kind of have that preservative that I feel like a lot of soups have, and so they all kind of have that weird metallic preservative taste. And then they're all like super. it's weird to say this, but they're super dry. Like, they don't seem to have a lot of liquid content, which a liquid content in food sounds super gross when I say it, but like the bread, especially in MREs, is super duper dry. Hey, that Om Nom came at the right time, I feel like. Alright. And then, other unpleasant experience in the military that literally everyone has to go through is like the tear gas chamber. That sucks. I don't remember it that well because it was... I mean, I kind of remember what it felt like, but I don't remember a whole lot of the details just because it was... What, I was 18 and I'm now coming up on 30, sometimes I forget, 4. So, you know, it's been quite some time since I had to experience that, but it was unpleasant. And see, I thought I would be clever when they put me in there, because the drill sergeants were asking people to, you know, they'd pull up your mask and tell you to state your name, rank, and whatever, and they'd ask you questions. And I took a deep breath right before they did it, and I answered all of their questions in really quick with one breath. And of course, the drill sergeant looks right at me and goes, "What was that? Didn't catch that." And then I had to breathe in, and it was, ugh. Survivable, but not pleasant. But then again, we were only, like, after we did that, we left pretty much immediately, so... I have not had prolonged exposure to it. However, it was also in a very tiny, tiny, tiny room. And so that affects things as well, because usually that gas is used outdoors. I mean, you shouldn't use it on people nonetheless, but especially not in a super tiny room. There's another hot knobby. Just jump through there, thank you, goodbye. I have all of the health stuff I could possibly have, and I'm still not doing super well. Gemini Christmas is powered by gems and motivated by gems. Does not eat gems. Which might surprise you, since Gemini Christmas is pretty much capable of eating anything else. No, why would you... Like, they're too valuable to eat, even though we sometimes trade them for food. Gemini Christmas of the Iron Stomach could totally eat gems, but sometimes when Gemini Christmas's parents were, like when the gem harvest didn't go well enough for them to get paid enough for their gems, Gemini Christmas would have to eat gems for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And while Gemini Christmas still sees the value in gems, Gemini Christmas will no longer eat them. Do anything for food, but won't do that. Yeah, I got a bunch of gems that I can spend, so it'd be wise of me to maybe go for the shop. Oh heck yes. That does help quite a bit. Keep shooting the stuff I can't shoot, and not shooting the stuff I should be shooting. Alright. Okay, alright, those bubbles, I missed those. We gotta go. We gotta keep going, we gotta keep moving, we gotta keep on keeping on, as they say. Keep moving, keep moving. Alright. Ow. Heck yes, invincibility. Hit points? Yes. Please. I do like me some hit points. Oh, that was very close on many accounts. I'm gonna just have to keep getting gems so that dude who's following me just gets wrecked from below. Boink, boink, turtle. God dang. Oh, burst. Oh, burst. Oh boy, oh burst. Oh boy, oh burst, oh beef jerky. This game brought to you, oh oh boy, birdo. Which is a thing. This video brought to you by beef jerky, which is a thing you should eat, unlike turtle shells and ghost and gems. But alas, Gemini Christmas did not think to bring any jerky. So Gemini Christmas is forced to subsist on a bunch of silly nonsense. Like turtle shells. Oh boy, that's something I need right there. Boink. Boink. Oh boy. Alright, go in here. Get that, thank you. Get those. Ten combo. Oh boy, alright, okay. Traumatic flashbacks to Sonic the Hedgehog a little bit. And it's terrifying you are losing air noises. I can't afford nothing that I need. Puncher. Okay. I'm starting to learn that those go in circles. Basic shapes sometimes elude me. God, laser is probably my favorite weapon for this level. Not to say that I won't swap if it gets me some health or something, but I do like the laser. Or charge. Really, I'll give it up for any reason. Just so long as it makes me... What have I given up in my pursuit for power? A sweet laser. That'd make a good, like, Cards Against Humanity card. What have I given up in my mad pursuit for power? Laser sight. Gotta be thinking about that final boss. Just a tad. Just barely know enough. Okay, well, saving my gems it is, I guess. Because by the end of the game, if you've been paying the slightest amount of attention, you really don't need anything else for charge. Let me get this toaster. I wonder if I can just... Oh, nope. Some of the... I'm like, I wonder if I can just live by just keeping my finger on the gun button, but it really doesn't work like that. I mean, even with the machine gun, because a lot of these platforms are pretty far away from each other, downwards wise. Oh yeah, the ones in the time warp don't count towards your combo. Did you see me... Oh, I was gonna say, did you see me walk straight through that circle? That was amazing, and then I got wrecked immediately. I would never start a sentence with, did you see me again? Gemini Christmas's life depends on it. Don't want that one. God, it's just giving me, like... I'm gonna say it's giving me garbage, but really it's all it's doing is giving me this... just the stuff I, you know, have rejected in past rounds. Oh, can I get both? No, I can't. It didn't do me that much good anyway. Time Void doesn't do me much good, as I stay in it for roughly half a second before I am forced to go out into the outside world again. A laser. Yes. Ah. Hey, there's my 100 again. Told you I could do it. Didn't claim I could do it twice in a row, because that would be probably not accurate of me. Or twice in one video, but I did it. Okay, I'm gonna cash that combo in now and see if maybe I can't do one more. 'Cause Alright, let's go with, yeah, drone, definitely. Alright, wait. Oh, that gave me 100 gems. I don't think that would have mattered, though, because I don't think, pew 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 pew. Alright, remember, he sends out the monsters first. Or... Oh, that was close. Oh, I can hardly see those bats. They blend in so well with the background. Oh, no. Oh. I'm having a little bit of a hard time understanding how these time void things quite work with the boss. Oh boy. Hey, drive him down, drive him down. Drive him down, drive him down, drive him down. I want that hit point. I think I've pretty much got that. Ooh, hang of that part. I almost said. He almost said with inaccuracy. Oh, I'm numbed. Good, good, good. That gives me one more hit point I can use. Oh god, he's fallen again. Okay, triple. Alright, okay. Yep, gotta get a move on, move on, move on, move on, move on. Well, there I go again. Alright, that's over an hour. I will see you all next time when we have another color scheme that is not this one. Goodbye, everybody.